plays video games all day, and his wife is fed up.
Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking about how to deal with smurfs. First of all, you're probably wondering, yes, this is a full face cam video. I didn't actually play very much today, so I don't have any gameplay to throw up in the background. So you're just going to be looking at me. But I'll start the video with a TLDR. If you don't want to watch the video, I'll give you just a quick bit. So your TLDR, smurfs, they understand the game at a higher level, and they'll be able to capitalize on your team's mistakes, and they will win 1v1s. Your win condition against a smurf is using their own hubris against them. What I mean by that is you're going to identify what they're capitalizing on. So for instance, if they're capitalizing on out-of-position players, or they're capitalizing on your team's lack of burst heals, or something like that, you're going to either eliminate that issue that you're having. You know, if you're lacking burst heals, have your healer swap or you swap, or have better positioning. Or if, like I said previously, you have bad positioning, work on the team's positioning, or get some shield tanks if they really don't want to work on it. Or you completely counter them. For instance, if the smurf is running Widow, you guys go double sniper and you run dive, you coordinate as best you can. If they're on Reaper, you go Summer McCree, you call out their position and their cooldowns all the time, nonstop, until your teammates are annoyed by it, and they just start shooting at them, so you shut up. That's your TLDR. If you just wanted to hear that, you're fine to stop watching the video. I hope you'll watch the rest, though. There is some interesting stuff about smurf mindsets. So first off, a single smurf, it does create an unfair advantage for sure. They're going to get out of your rank eventually, but for now, they're in yours. They're not unbeatable, however. And they don't have as big of an advantage as you think. They actually have some disadvantages being in your rank. This isn't their home territory. Leading into that, smurfs tend to underestimate their opponents. They'll make crazier and crazier plays. They'll play a little bit more absent-mindedly because they think, hey, this is just gold, silver, whatever. I'm a Masters or a GM player. This doesn't matter. I'll get out of here. It doesn't matter. So because of that, they'll play less proactively. They'll be too focused on hard carrying that they won't actually be playing the game as Overwatch is meant to be played, which is a 6-person team. They'll be thinking, oh, it's just me and 5 bots. I got to carry them. They're in that mindset already. So you can capitalize on that. And you can easily do that by, number one, just don't play how they'd expect you to. Get your team together, make some tactics, play not like how they'd expect a silver team to play. If they're flanking, they're going high ground, contest it. It's going to be hard to get your team to do it, and it's going to be hard for you to even recognize it, I would assume. But just recognize what they're doing and counter it, or make it so that what they're doing isn't effective. But on the flip side, another advantage you'll have, smurfs are used to a certain level of team play and coordination from their team. So they'll forget, for instance, that they'll push in, they'll be up on high ground on first point Hollywood. They'll forget that their healers aren't going to be looking at them. They're not going to be watching them, and the tanks aren't going to be aggressive enough to take the aggro off of them when they're going to need it. You guys can capitalize on that. While their team's still bottom, they're still trying to make it in. 2 or 3, you guys can go up and deal with the smurf. Or another example would be they're going to push in and assume their tanks will follow up, take the aggro off of them. Their tanks aren't going to. Their tanks expect openings. If the smurf isn't able to get those openings, nothing's going to happen, and the smurf's going to get upset. Let me scroll down. So, outside of countering them and coordinating the team against them, you're going to want to make the smurf your team's number one priority, no matter what. If they're dead in the beginning of the team fight, even if the team's down 1, the enemy team was just down 1, it'd be a lose condition, but the team is going to be relying on that smurf. They're going to be relying on them to play well at least halfway at some point into the game. So once you eliminate that smurf, the fight's done for sure. So yeah, you'll make them the priority, not just in attacking them, but in calling out what they're doing, what abilities they've used, where they're going, what you think they're doing, what their ults are at, that kind of stuff. And 99% of the time, what makes the smurf so dangerous is that they're able to identify things that you can't. So for instance, a GM player is used to calling out out-of-position enemies, or watching for when enemies are vulnerable, for when Annas are without their cooldowns, or, I don't know, when Mercy's just G8 or the G8 into a bad position. And what they'll do is they'll capitalize on that over and over and over. So it's your job as a proactive teammate to call out what they're capitalizing on. Just be on the lookout. So if they're running a flanking soldier and your team just consistently isn't calling them out or isn't calling out their flanks or is just getting popped by them, tell your team, hey, let's call this guy out. This is the problem. Or let's counter him. If they don't want to counter him, just keep calling him out. If you continually call him out, your teammates are going to want you to be quiet. So they're going to do something to keep you quiet. If they rage at you, you can't do too much about that. Sorry, I'm just reading. But yeah, if you can catch on to what the Smurf is doing, they're usually not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to work around it in one game. They're usually not smart enough to do that because they're smurfing. But if you can do that, the Smurf is a lot less dangerous. It may even be inhibiting the team because a normal player would play normally with the team, but that Smurf has built themselves such a hubris that if they're not getting the perceived value that they think they should get, they honestly may be doing worse than a normal gold, silver, bronze player. That's pretty much it. I tried to keep this one short. If you have any questions about Smurfs or how to identify one, leave something in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.